are recording tonight's performance. So that's the sign you have to look for. And when you see this sign, what do we do?
Oh, come on!
One more time. When we see this sign, what do we do? Beautiful. Everybody talk, everybody have a good time. We're going to be starting in 20 seconds, so let's hear some noise, everybody. In 15, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear some sound.
What's a girl gotta do to get a drink around here?
And 10, go out there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, hey there, everybody. We're glad you arrived. Welcome to the NVT Studio Party, everybody. The NVT Studio Party comes to you live from the new Azienda Theatre here in beautiful downtown Chalmette. Starring Boudreaux, Soline McLain, Karen Shields, Stephen Denning, William Lee, and the NVT players. Tonight, our special comedy guest is Mr. Weldon. And our special musical guests are the songbird of New Orleans, Yvette Voelker, and composer-musician Dan.
Tonight's party is brought to you by the NOLA Voice Theatre, New Orleans' only theatre dedicated to the art, creation, and performance of voice and radio theatre, benefiting new, non-profit theatres in the area, like the new Azienda Theatre. And what a night we have planned for you folks. Later on, we'll bring you our newest voice theatre adaptation of the classic Mary Chase comedy, Harvey, and our new game show, What's Your Deal? Where we choose an audience member, dare our panelists to guess your job. Thank you in the balcony. Right, hey, it's a party. Let's head in, shall we?
Go, David!
Boy treats me like a dog. Last night I spilled some pineapple juice on the carpet. She rubbed my nose in it.
You can't buy love for $1 million. Maybe 10 years ago, but not now.
I have a friend in Lakeview who's a professional swimmer.
Does he have his own pool?
No, but there's an Olympic-sized pothole outside his apartment.
My mother just sent me $100 to come home for the weekend, but my father sent me $250 to stay here.
I used to have this really great apartment, but you could tell it was in a bad neighborhood. My building had valet car stripping.
My ex is really antisocial. He likes to watch porn in reverse. He loves watching them get dressed and leave.
After all these years, I finally saw Dead Man Walking.
You know, it was shot here in New Orleans.
These days, who isn't?
My parents say I don't know what good, clean fun is, and they're right. I don't know what good it is.
I just found this old calendar of love in my Aunt Gertrude's attic. It said, Mondays are for meeting, Tuesdays are for talking, Wednesdays are for wishing, Thursdays are for touching, Fridays for some reason have been torn out.
I once entered a Miss America contest. They revoked my citizenship. So I'm going to Canada!
And now, in the fox hunt, the leader wears a black velvet hat and a pink velvet jacket. And he's followed by 20 or 30 men.
Well, in that outfit, Doll, I'm not surprised. I won't say my sister drinks, but she only dates men who failed a sobriety test.
There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. If she had somebody who told her she didn't know what to do, obviously.
I come from a broken home. I'm broken.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to bring to the stage one of our favorite stand-up comedians. For more years than he'd like to admit. He's been a popular draw on comedy stages, casinos, and television. If his voice sounds familiar, just imagine you're sitting in traffic hearing about an accident on I-10 from the talented Mr. Mike Weldon.
All right, before we get started, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Just thought I'd check. All right. I was out hunting with my wife the other day. I thought this would be a great idea, something we could do together. She says, we never do anything together. I said, honey, I'll take you hunting with me. And I said, do you know what a deer looks like? She said, oh, don't be so stupid. Of course I know what a deer looks like. So I said, here's a 30-06. You go that way, and I'm going this way. If something happens, shoot the gun in the air. She said, I know what a deer looks like. Stop, shut up. So as I walked away, I started finding some deer tracks. All of a sudden, I heard, bam! And I thought, oh my God, she shot herself. I run back up there just in time to see the game warden going, all right, lady, all right, it's your deer. Just let me take my saddle off of him, okay? Yes. This always reminds me of that time, last words my grandfather told me. He said, Mike, but I would like to tell you a little bit about my first wife. I call her affectionately Satan's sister. There's a written, no, don't be that way. There's a reason for that. She's an attorney. I know. I put her through law school. So which one of this is really stupid? Okay. She and I also went out hunting because I want to share that experience with all the women that are in my life. So she said, I want to go find alligator shoes. I said, honey, they have to go find alligator. She said, that's a great idea. So all of a sudden she comes up and I see her and she's beating this poor alligator to death. She looks at him, tosses him to a side. I said, what's wrong? She said, not wearing any shoes. Fine. In one words of Jack Benny, well. So, one of the other things I'd like to tell you about is the fact that how many of y'all know that Jesus had a favorite car? That's right, it's a Honda. Everybody's in one accord. That was the Jesus joke and y'all did that.
Turning quickly, Weldon.
I noticed. Hush. All right. Now, one last thing. I've got to go ahead and show you guys that I am actually very, very versatile. How many of y'all have ever seen The Wizard of Oz? By a show of hands. Thank you. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to do the Mayor of the Munchkin City, all of the council members, and I'm going to finish up with a corner song. I know you're all going, can he really do that? Well, in this size body, I should. Here we go.
As Mayor of the Munchkin City and the capital land of Oz, I welcome you most regally. But we're gonna verify it legally. She is morally, physically, spiritually, undeniably, unreliably dead. As according I thoroughly examined her, and she not only made it, she really most sincerely did.
Thank you all very much.
And that was Mike Weldon, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't he fantastic? Let's hear it for Mike. Now, very often in NOLA Voice Theatre, we hear the question,
What is voice theater?
which is usually followed by,
Isn't all theater voice theater?
and,
Is that like radio theater?
or,
Oh, like old-time radio. My great-grandmother loved that.
as it happens, voice theater and radio theater are very closely connected. For the purposes of explaining to everyone just what you sat through last night, we will tell you that voice theater is like a radio show with lagniappe. And, in the spirit of lagniappe, we would like to present you with our own French Quarter sitcom, The Thibodeaux.
Yes,
once again, time to visit our favorite family of the Voelker, Erasmus and Penelope Thibodeau. Starring B.D. Boudreaux and Laynee and Soline McLain as Raz and Penny Thibodeau. It's the middle of the summer in New Orleans, a time that means extreme heat, faulty air conditioning, and high temperatures. Yet still, things are cool and comfortable at the Thibodeaus. Let's join Penny in the airy kitchen of their second-floor garçonniere as her next-door neighbor, Destiny, arrives for their daily morning visit.
Hey, girl, hey. I picked up your paper on my way up.
Thanks, Destiny. Want some Plebo?
Yes, but only a cup. I have to drive later.
Oh, have a seat. I'll bring it out to you.
Where's Raz?
I don't know. He got up craving iced tea, left the ice tray out on the table, and disappeared. I don't know where he went.
Probably just as well. He likes me about as much as a he-rat.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Raz likes you. In his own way.
Yeah, sure he does. Say, have you read your horoscope today?
Not yet. Here's your Plebo.
Thanks, sugar. What's your sign?
I'm Virgo. Raz is a Scorpio. What's your sign?
Usually no trespassing. Virgo. Ah, here it is, Virgo. It's going to be a fantastic day for you, Virgo. Don't worry about anything. It will all work out.
That's nice to know. Does it say anything about lottery numbers?
If it did, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Penny!
Speaking of devils.
Oh, quiet. We're in the kitchen, hon.
Hi, sweetheart. Oh, good morning, Destiny.
Good morning, Erasmus.
Penny, have you seen my phone?
No, I haven't. Do you want me to call it?
No good. I left the volume off after the show last night. I'm supposed to be meeting Frank in Jackson Square, but I need my calendar to know what time. I'll go check in the bedroom.
Here, you said Raz is a Scorpio, right?
Yes, that's right.
Listen to this. Scorpio, today is not your day. Traveling or activities today could be dangerous. Stay inside and wait it out.
It says that?
No, I made it up. Of course it says it's all right here.
Oh dear, that's terrible.
Yeah, Raz home all day long. Dreadful.
No, not that. He just said he's going out to Jackson Square to meet Frank. He might get hurt.
Well, nothing's certain, dear, not for any of us.
We've got to stop him from going out today.
Okay, show him this.
Oh, no, I can't. Raz doesn't believe in horoscopes. There's a lot of things Raz doesn't think exists. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, pilgrims.
Well, you better start thinking, kid. I can hear him coming down the hall.
I can't find it, and I'm supposed to meet him in 15 minutes. Destiny, you're not sitting on my phone, are you?
If I were, you wouldn't want it back.
That's true. I'll check the living room.
Come on now, think. What can we do to keep him from leaving the house?
You could shoot him.
Destiny?
I didn't say you should kill him.
Something a little less violent, please.
Well, you could always.
I'm going to try the laundry room.
Destiny, what were you going to say?
I was going to say you could always offer him a little slap and tickle.
What does that mean?
You know, slap and tickle. Dancing the horizontal mambo. Ride the stallion.
Oh my God.
Why not? You're married. He gets what he wants, you get what you want. And if you're lucky, you both get a happy ending.
I'm appalled at you. Besides, it won't work. That happens 3 times a week in this house, and last night was strike 3.
I'm telling you, pregnant.
I'd be better off shooting him. We have to think of something fast.
Outside of nailing the door shut, I'm out of ideas.
Oh!
I was kidding, sweetie. We're not nailing it.
I know where his phone is. Oh, Raz! Raz, can you come in the kitchen, please?
What is it, honey? I've got to find my phone.
Raz, when you left this morning, you forgot to put the ice tray back?
Yeah?
Firstly, I forgive you. Secondly, would you get the other tray out for me?
Honey, you're right next to the freezer. Why don't you get it yourself?
Because I didn't leave the ice tray out to melt all over the table, now did I?
Oh, fine. All right, here is the... Hey!
I found my phone! What do you know about that? I better call Frank.
Raz, why don't you stay home today? We can watch that movie you've been dying to see.
Well, you're in luck, honey. That's why I needed the phone. I had to call Frank to cancel our plans for today. Wow, that's cold. Oh, hey, Frank.
How did you know where it was?
Simple. He made a glass of iced tea this morning. He'd either frozen his phone or drank it.
Well, all's well that ends well. You averted cosmic disaster and got the movie day in the bargain.
Well, my horoscope said everything would all work out. By the way, what does your horoscope say?
Do I have to, Penny?
Come on, read it.
I already read it.
So, what did it say?
The same thing it says every day. Why are you bothering to look?
Another episode of The Thibodeaux. I'm your announcer, Jim Holmes. See you next time at The Thibodeaux.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be a studio party if we didn't have a show, and tonight we have got a great one. A classic from the 20th century, our version of the classic Mary Chase comedy, Harvey.
Oh, Vatican.
Oh, and speaking of Harvey, here's our Elvis beat down, Mr. B.D. Boudreaux.
Great to see you. Say, Vatican, have you got a sponsor for this?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, look at this new theater in a prime location. This is beautiful downtown Chalmette. The rent alone must be $40, $50 at least.
Well, they don't have a sponsor.
How can a 2-hour show like this not have a sponsor with all these people up here? We'll give it some class. Your sponsor is the Plebo Company.
What in the name of Sally Ann Roberts is a Plebo?
Who cares? There must be a Plebo Company somewhere. And if there is, we'll send them a bill. Who are you going to introduce next?
Yvette, Voelker, and Danny Rubio.
Okay, commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, Yvette, Voelker, and Danny Rubio are brought to you by the Plebo Company, America's foremost manufacturers. The Plebo Company has been manufacturing Foremost for years. Try a Foremost, or better still, try the large economy size, the 5 Most. Remember, when using Foremost, use caution. Caution comes in 6 delicious flavors. So ladies, if Foremost persists, see your doctor. If your doctor persists, use caution. So buy a box of Plebo today. And if you are not satisfied, return the unused portion of the product, and the Plebo Company will refund the unused portion of your money. If you live in Canada, say hello to Justin Trudeau.
Our musical guests need no introduction, but they're getting one anyway, because apparently we have time for bills. She's a Crescent City music icon, one of the founding members of the fabulous Pfister Sisters, and a star in her own right. He's an accomplished musician, musical theater composer, and a former child star. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yvette Voelker and Danny Rubio!
by. NOLA Voice Theatre is on the air. Good evening and welcome to NOLA Voice Theatre, New Orleans' only troupe dedicated to the art of voice acting and radio theatre. Tonight we present one of the great plays of the 20th century. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Mary Chase's brilliant and quirky comedy, Harvey. In 1944, Harvey opened on Broadway to rave reviews. The show introduces us to Elwood P. Dowd and his invisible friend, a 6'3" and 3/4 puka named Harvey. In case you don't know what a puka is, well, a puka is a Celtic spirit, harbinger of good fortune, who appears to those who are in need. The puka can take the form of humans or animals, and sometimes a mixture of both. Tonight, B.D. Boudreaux, Karen Shields, Soline McLain, and Stephen Denning star in the NOLA Voice Theatre production of Mary Chase's classic comedy, Harvey. It is 1945 New Orleans, and just outside the Voelker, what we now know as the French Quarter, is where the Dowd family has lived since the 1840s. The stately yet inviting Dowd residence is in that peculiar locale where the streets of Bourbon, Powder, and Colorette meet. Beadle Louise Simmons is determined to establish her daughter, Myrtle May's, place in New Orleans society, even as her older brother, Elwood P. Dowd, seems determined to ruin her plans with his eccentricities. We join Myrtle May in the entry hall of the family's home, taking a telephone call in the middle of a rare social event.
Your daughter's voice has improved so much. She nearly sounds human. Why are you out here, Myrtle May?
Mother!
This social is for you, dear.
Yes, Mother.
Every society patron and their daughter in that room so that you can make an impression.
Yes, Mother.
And yet here you are in the entryway on the phone.
The call is for you, Mother. It's Mrs. Nolan, the States editor at the Stateside.
Well, why didn't you say so? Hello, this is Miss Simmons. Oh, yes, Mrs. Nolan. Yes, a tea and a reception for the garden club. You remember my late mother formed the garden club over 50 years ago. What's that? How many in attendance? 1 moment, I'll check. Myrtle May, how many are there?
About 75. Say it's 100.
75 members, Mrs. Nolan. The performer today is Miss Ermengarde Bunce, and the accompanist is Mrs. Harriet Boudreaux with a program of light classics.
Mother, our party's almost finished.
Oh, she'll do an encore.
And what if they don't give her enough applause?
Oh, if anyone so much as clears her throat, she'll do an encore. Now be quiet. By the way, Mrs. Nolan, I'm only the co-hostess this afternoon. My daughter is the hostess.
Mother, she's nearly finished.
As soon as she's done, open the doors for punch in the dining room. Yes, this is the first soiree we've given in years. Well, I don't want the reason in the papers. Yes, I'll have a full guest list sent over to you when we're done. I'm certain you'll be dazzled, Mrs. Nolan. Goodbye.
Mrs. Chauvenet just arrived.
Mrs. Eugene Chauvenet, Sr. Oh, she's very high society. Her father was a scout for Buffalo Bill.
So that's where she got that hat.
Oh, then you be extra nice to Mrs. Chauvenet. She's got a grandson just your age, a lawyer.
And what difference will it make with Uncle Elwood around?
Myrtle Bay, you promised not to mention that. This party is to get you started. We work through the older women to get to the younger set.
And so what? It's not like we can have people over in the evenings, and that's when men come to see you, in the evenings. The only reason we have people over now is because Uncle Elwood has pinochle every Wednesday.
Oh, Myrtle May, you've got so much to offer. I don't care what anyone says. But dear, before they can find out just how much you have to offer, they have to know there is an offer. You need to meet someone.
And the second I do, they'll say, oh, Myrtle May Simmons. Her uncle is Elwood P. Dowd, the head banana at the funny farm, and his pal, Harvey.
Oh, stop it, Myrtle May. You promised. You promised not to mention that name today. You promised.
I'm sorry, Mother. But how do you know Uncle Elwood won't show up and begin introducing people to Harvey?
Your uncle may be my greatest heartache, but he's reliable. He's never home from Pinochle before 4 o'clock.
But I don't see why we can't live like other people.
May I remind you, Uncle Elwood doesn't live with us. We live with him.
Do you think Grandmother knew about Harvey?
Well, she did. She never told me.
Why did she have to leave everything to Uncle Elwood anyway?
Well, she did die in his arms. People are awfully sentimental about things like that. Oh, dear. Ermengarde's voice is failing. Now, don't forget to wave your hand.
I'd have to dislocate it to take away from Ermengarde's voice.
And act like you meant for it to happen. Lovely, Ermengarde. Lovely.
Come on in, Harvey. I tell you, I shouldn't have won the pot with that hand. And you, whispering everyone else's cards to me. Oh, I know, you don't agree with games of chance. Well, nothing else is for it. I'll just have to donate the money to the charity. Sorry? What's that? Oh, sure, sit anywhere you like. Oh, I should get that. Harvey, would you close the door? Thanks. Down residence. Sorry? Oh, you're looking for my sister Vida. Oh, well, I'm your big brother, Elwood P. And what's your name, my dear? Mrs. Seac. We're glad to speak with you, Mrs. Seac. Oh, that's fine. I'd be happy to join your club, Mrs. Seac. Harvey, she wants me to join her club. I'm already a member of several clubs, Mrs. Seac. The Academics Club, the Voelker Club, oh, and the New Orleans Athletic Club. I just came back from the Pinochle group. What's that? Harvey, she says I can get the Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, and Grit Magazine for 2 years and only $6.25. Yes, Miss Seac, I'd be happy to join your club. Oh, yes, Harvey says he'd like to join as well. Yes, do subscription. Mail everything to this address. I hope to have the pleasure of meeting you in person soon, my dear. Sorry, when could I meet you? Well, it seems my sister Vida is having a gathering now, so any time after 4 would be fine. We would consider it an honor to have you to our home. Yes, that's the address. Yes, I know. It's been a source of confusion for everyone, including the post office. The house is butter yellow with ketchup red shutters. Yes, the house that looks like breakfast. See you soon. Well, Harvey, it sounds like Vida and Myrtle May are having it to-do. I think we should pop in and pay our respects, don't you? Yeah. Yes, I do too. Come along then.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Morrison. I'm certain Chet will love it. Elwood, what are you doing here? Oh, excuse us, Mrs. Morrison. I just... Elwood. Elwood, dear. Oh, dear. May. Come here, dear. That's right. Excuse us just for a moment.
Was that Uncle Elwood? Oh, God, oh, God. Oh, my God!
Hello, May. Where are you going?
To my room! You just know he's in there introducing everyone to Harvey. I can't show my face in that room now. I wish I were dead.
Come back here. We'll get him out of there and back upstairs. Now we're going to open the doors and pretend we're having a nice little chat. That's right. Having a nice little chat with me. Smile. Look at me. I'm smiling. And he's my own brother. Now, Elwood has always come when I call. Look inside. You see him.
No, not yet. Oh, how do you do? Is this coming? Oh, people get so much closer to bring through. Why can't I pass an Uncle Elwood?
Myrtle May Simmons, I'm ashamed of you. This isn't Elwood's fault. Oh, that will be Mrs. Nolan. Keep smiling and keep looking. Hello, this is Mrs. Simmons. Should you come in the clothes you have on? What do you have on?
course, sister. I have some free time at the moment. Do you want Harvey to wait here as well?
Yes, I do.
Harvey ended and Vita, true to her word, did something she had never done before. She took Elwood out to Chumley's Rest, a mental sanitarium, and just out of the parish lawn.
Dr. Sanderson, please report to examination room 1. Dr. Sanderson, examination room 1.
Now that's Mrs. O.M. Simmons, 1438 Palmer Street, correct?
Yes, Miss Kelly. We were born and raised there. It's old, but it's home.
Now, Judge Gaffney called before you arrived. He said you wish to enter your brother into the sanitarium for treatment. What's his name?
Life hasn't been easy for us, you know. I'll have to hold my head up and keep going. That's what I keep telling Myrtle May, and that's what she keeps telling me.
What is your brother's name, Mrs. Simmons?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Elwood P. Dowd.
And what is his age?
47 on the 24th of last April. He's a Taurus, the bull. I'm a Leo. Myrtle is on the cusp.
47. Is he married?
No, Elwood has never married. He stayed with Mother. He was always a great homeboy type, you know.
Do you have him with you today?
He's in a taxi cab downstairs. I gave the driver $1 to watch him, but I didn't tell him why. You just can't tell these things to complete strangers.
Yeah, Nurse Kelly.
Mr. Wilson, go down to the taxi and ask Mr. Dowd if he would be good enough to step up to room 24, South Wing G.
Ask him.
This is Mrs. Simmons, Mr. Dowd's sister.
Well, how do you do, Mrs. Simmons? I'm sure I'll be happy to escort him in.
Thank you. Judge Gaffney is our attorney, Miss Kelly. He will handle all the arrangements.
I'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see you now.
Dr. Sanderson? I don't want to see some flunky. I want to see Dr. Chumley.
Dr. Sanderson is nobody's flunky, Mrs. Simmons. Dr. Sanderson sees everybody. Dr. Chumley sees no one.
Well, where is Dr. Chumley? He's still a psychiatrist, isn't he?
Still a psychiatrist. Dr. Chumley enjoys a national reputation. When people have mental breakdowns, the first name in their minds is Dr. William Chumley.
So who is this Dr. Sanderson?
Oh, a brilliant young doctor. True, he's just out of college, but Dr. Chumley chose him out of 12 other candidates. He's wonderful with the patients.
Mrs. Simmons?
Oh, my doctor! You startled me.
My apologies. Please be seated.
I hope you don't think I'm always that jumpy.
No, of course not. Miss Kelly tells me you're concerned about your brother, Mr. Elwood P. Dowd.
Yes, doctor. You know, this isn't easy for me.
It's never easy for the families, Mrs. Simmons. How long have you noticed these peculiarities in your brother?
I noticed it right after our mother died. Myrtle May. That's my daughter, Myrtle May. And I moved back from Des Moines to live with Elwood, and of course, I could see.
Take your time, Mrs. Simmons.
Well,
when you're ready.
For one thing, he drinks.
To excess?
Do you think it's excess when a man never lets a day go by without stepping foot into a Bourbon Street bar, sitting around with riffraff and people you've never heard of, inviting them to the house, playing cards with them, giving them food and money, all the while I'm trying to get Myrtle May set up with a nice, respectable group of young people? If that isn't excess, I'm certain I don't know what excess is.
I don't doubt you, Mrs. Simmons. I rarely ask if he drinks.
Yes, he drinks! And I want him committed out here permanently because I cannot take another day of that Harvey. Myrtle has to set a place at the table for Harvey. We have to move over on the sofa to make room for Harvey. We have to answer the telephone when Elwood calls to speak to Harvey. Today, at the party for the garden club with Mrs. Chauvenet right there, we didn't know anything about Harvey when we moved back. Tell me, doctor, don't you think Mother should have written and told me about Harvey? Don't you?
I really can't answer that question since I don't...
I can! She certainly should have!
Now, this person, Harvey, who is he?
He's a rabbit.
Perhaps. But just who is he? A companion of your brother you picked up in one of these bars you disapprove of?
I've been telling you, Harvey is a 6-foot rabbit. Or is it 6.5? You did not know. He's always around the house.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, let me get this straight. You say Harvey...
Do I have to keep repeating myself? My brother insists his best friend is a big rabbit named Harvey. He and Elwood go everywhere together. Train tickets, theater tickets, ball games, for both of them. Like I told Myrtle Neck, if he's that lonely, couldn't he have brought home something human? Doctor, can I tell you something? Something I've never told another living soul. Sometimes I think I can see him too. And he's every bit as big as Elwood says he is. Don't you repeat a word of that. I'm ashamed of it.
I can see you've been under a great deal of nervous strain lately. Grief over your mother's death, depression.
Oh, you have no idea.
Been losing a lot of sleep.
Who can sleep with that going on?
Short-tempered over trifles.
You try living with those two and see how your temper holds up.
Loss of appetite.
Have you ever eaten with a big white rabbit? Well, I'm finished with it. I'll sell the house, have myself named as Elwood's executor, and Myrtle May and I can entertain our friends in peace.
Well, I'm going to help you, Mrs. Simmons. I want you to just sit here quietly. I'll be right
At last. I'll just go and get Elwood's things out of the cab.
Why didn't anyone answer the buzzer?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Where's Mrs. Simmons? Oh, no. Wilson? Wilson, sound the alarm. That poor woman mustn't leave the grounds.
Made a break for it, eh?
Her condition is serious. Go after her. The front gate, Mrs. Sanderson. Allow no one out. We're missing a patient. Take her to B ward, room 13 in the West Wing. We have to reach her brother, Elwood Down. Get him on the phone.
But she wasn't here for treatment. Her brother was.
The oldest dodge in the world. That's a psychopath. She knew her brother was coming out here to put her away, and she came here first to discredit him. Get him on the phone, please.
But doctor, we already committed her brother. Room 24, South Wing G.
What? Oh no! Call Nurse Dunphy. Get him out of there.
Nurse Dunphy? Hi, it's Miss Kelly. Please unlock number 24. What's that? Oh, well in that case, give Mr. Dowd back his clothes and ask him to step into Dr. Sanderson's office. Oh! Thank goodness we called. They were about to put him in the hydro tubs.
That's beautiful. A bit ditzy. It's almost too good to be true.
Well, I didn't know. She just came in and... Hey, you don't have to be sarcastic.
No, don't I? Well, stop worrying. We'll squirm out of it somehow. Meanwhile, I'll have to tell the chief about this.
Oh, he'll be furious. And then he'll fire me.
Don't worry, I'm responsible. I will never say your name. Except in my sleep.
But what do I say to Mr. Dowd? He'll be furious too.
Oh, come on. We've dealt with angry men before. Some of us several times. Work your feminine wiles. Whatever you do, keep him here until I get back, okay?
Well, we finally got that Simmons dame. Slick as a whistle. She was walking down the path, humming a little tune. I jumped out of the bushes and said, "Hey, sister, there's a man who wants to see you." And you should have heard the hollering. We brought her through the diet kitchen, kicking and screaming. I'll hold her down if you help undress her.
In a minute, Mr. Wilson.
We'll make
Dr.
it snappy.
Sanderson told me to stay here until her brother gets here.
Make it snappy.
Are you Mr. Dowd?
Elwood P. Pleased to meet you,
Miss Kelly.
Please, let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me, call this number. Don't call that one. It's the old number.
Thank you. Won't you have a chair, Mr. Dowd?
Thank you. I'll have two.
Dr. Sanderson is anxious to speak with you. He'll be here in a moment. Would you like to look at a magazine?
With loveliness such as yours, why would I need more?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dowd. Some people wouldn't agree.
It is often brought to my attention that some people are blind. Now, I'd like to have you meet...
Mr. Dowd?
Elwood P. Let me give you one of my cards.
Mr. Dowd, I'm Dr. Lyman's Sanderson, Dr. Chung's assistant.
Well, good for you. Happy to meet you, Doctor.
You met Miss Kelly?
Yes, I've had the pleasure. And I'd like to introduce you both to my very dear friend.
Later on, be glad to. Won't you please be seated?
After Miss Kelly, of course.
Miss Kelly, sit down. Thank you. Mr. Dowd, thank you. Now, I can see that you're not the type to be taken in by high-flown phrases or beating around the bush.
Is that so?
Let's lay our cards out on the table.
That certainly appeals to me, Doctor.
I made the mistake this afternoon, and I'd like to explain.
It wasn't Dr. Sanderson's fault, Mr. Dowd. It was mine.
Mistake. I find it interesting nonetheless. You and Dr. Sanderson this afternoon, you say.
The responsibility is not Miss Kelly's, but mine.
Well, your attitude may be old-fashioned, but I like it.
Now, had I seen your sister first, it would have been a different matter.
Now you've lost me. I think the world of Vita, but I thought she had already seen her day.
You mustn't blame her. She's a very sick woman. Came in here insisting you needed treatment, which is perfectly ridiculous.
She shouldn't have set herself over me. I get along fine.
She was extremely nervous. Plunged right away into a heated tirade about your drinking.
Yes, that's Vita. I tell her not to worry about that.
Does your sister drink, Mr. Dow?
Vita? No, I don't think she's ever taken a drink in her life.
Well, this surprises me. I believe she has, and frequently. But her alcoholism isn't the focus of my diagnosis. It's more serious than that. She talked about the big white rabbit, Harvey. That was the rabbit's name, Harvey.
Harvey is his name. She feels so persecuted, and she shouldn't. Before we go any further, I must insist on introducing you.
Let me make my point first. This condition didn't spring up overnight. It stems from trauma or shock. Nothing unusual about it. There's birth trauma, the shock of being born.
That's one we never get over.
You have a nice sense of humor, Mr. Dow. How's the name of this guy?
Oh, yes, Doctor.
And may I say the same about you both?
To sum it all up, her sister's condition is serious. But I can help her. She must, however, remain here temporarily.
I've always wanted Vita to have everything she needs, but I wouldn't want her out here unless she liked it and wanted to stay.
Mr. Dow, if this were something she had seen, say, in childhood, that's one thing. But this is more serious. It stands to reason no one has ever seen a white rabbit 6 feet high.
Not very often, Doctor.
So, she must be committed here temporarily. Under these conditions, I commit my own grandmother.
Oh, does your grandmother drink too?
It's just an expression. Won't you please sign these temporary commitment papers? It's just a formality as next of kin.
You'd better have Vita sign these. She does all the signing and managing for the family. She's good at it.
We can't disturb her now.
Perhaps I'd better talk it over with Judge Brant.
I can explain it all to him later. We don't normally do this, but if you're concerned about Shelley's rest, why don't you have a look around? Miss Kelly, make out a full visitor's pass.
For Vita's sake, I think I'd better. And I'd like to invite you both down to Dixie Fosnock's for a drink. Perhaps after work.
That's very kind, but we'll take a range.
We don't get out here until after 10 p.m., Mr. Dow.
Perfect. I'll come pick you up in a cab, and the four of us will spend a happy evening. I have a friend I want you to meet. Goodbye now.
Phew, I can breathe again.
That man is proud. What? I have no idea. I'll go meet him tonight, but you don't have to go. I'll just pop in, have a quick drink, and leave. Besides, I have a date tonight.
Oh, well, I wasn't going anyway. The idea bored me stiff. I wouldn't go if I never went anywhere again.
What are you getting so emotional about?
He may be a peculiar man with strange clothes, but he knows how to act. His manners were perfect.
Oh, I see. I saw you giving him the Belquist. I didn't miss that.
He was charming. He told me I was lovely and called me dear. I'd go have a drink with him myself if you weren't going.
Oh, sure you would. Look at him. He clearly spends all day in a bar. He doesn't work. All that bowing and florid language. He's as dated as a cast iron deer.
Dr. Sanderson, Miss Kelly.
Yes, Dr. Chumley.
Have things been soothed over with that white rabbit woman?
Yes, Doctor. Her brother was very understanding.
Yes, well, I've had many patients who saw animals. I've never had one so, large.
She called him Harvey. Harvey? That's a man's name. I have known many men named Harvey, but I've never heard of any animal with that name. Come, Sanderson, let's look in on this Simmons woman. We may be able to use my Formula 977 on her. I will advise you on her treatment. Whose coat and hat are on that table? Miss Kelly?
I don't know. Well, they can't be Mr. Dowd's. He had his hat and coat on when he left.
Well, check the coat for identification and hand me that hat. What is this? 2 holes cut into the brim over each ear.
Why would anyone do that?
Willie! Oh, hello, Dr. Sanderson, Miss Kelly. Willie, do hurry, dear. The Chasson's dinner party. We faithfully promised.
I'll have to run upstairs and see a patient first, my pet. I won't be long.
Go cut the diagnosis and let's go. I have to see the inside of their new house.
You'll pardon me, Mrs. Chumley. I have my duties.
Oh, yes, of course. Good seeing you again, Miss Kelly.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening. I'm Mrs. Chumley, Dr. Chumley's wife.
And I'm Mr. Dowd, Elwood P. Here, let me give you one of my cards. Now, if you call me, call this number, not that one. That is the old one.
Thank you. Are you looking for someone?
Yes, my friend Harvey.
Does he work here or is he a patient?
Oh, no, nothing like that. He's what you might call my best friend. He's also a puka. He came out here with me and Vita today.
I'm sorry, what was that word you used? A puka?
Yes, that's it. I thought his hat and coat were here.
They don't seem to be here now, Mr. Dodd. Is that something new? A puka?
As I understand, it's something very old.
I don't believe I've ever heard it before.
Oh, don't feel bad. I hadn't either until I met Harvey. He'd like you.
Well, nice of you to say.
If Harvey takes a liking to someone, he expresses himself quite definitely. If he has no interest, he just sits there like an empty chair or a space on the floor. He takes his time with people. Choosy, you see.
That's not a bad thing to be in this day and age.
Harvey is very fond of my sister Vita. That's because he's very fond of me. And you would think Vita would be fond of Harvey, wouldn't you?
Mr. Dowd, I gave up sex to my family and life my friends years ago.
But we must continue to try. Mrs. Chumley, may I invite you to come have a drink with me?
Thank you, Mr. Dowd, but my husband and I have an engagement. But if I see your friend, I'll be happy to give him a message.
What a dear lady you are. Thank you. Ask him to meet me downtown if he has no other plan.
Any place in particular?
No, Harvey knows this town like a book. He'll know where.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Dowd. Dr. Chumley and I are going downtown, so if you find your friend Harvey, we'll take a look.
How kind. Thank you, and good night. Oh, and you can't miss Harvey. He's very tall.
What a nice man.
That Simmons woman is very unresponsive. Refuses to admit she's got a big rabbit. Keeps saying it's her brother. Sanderson, give her 2 of these at 9 and another at 10 if she's restless. Then another trip to the Hydra room at 8 and again tomorrow morning. Then we'll see if she's more cooperative.
Yes, doctor.
Are you ready, my pet?
Yes, dear. By the way, there was a man here. Mr. Dowd?
That's Mrs. Simmons' brother. I gave him a full pass. He must be here to visit her.
He didn't ask to see her. He was looking for his friends. Said he came out here with him earlier today. Said that his friend left his hat and coat here. A fellow named Harvey?
Harvey?
Yes, he didn't give a last name. Said something about a puka.
Harvey!
Yes, I told Mr. Todd we'd give him a lift downtown if we met him.
Where did he go, Mrs. Chumley? How long was he here?
Only for a moment. What's going on?
Sanderson, call the front gate. Miss Kelly, find me Judge Gaffney's number.
Henry, Dr. Sanderson. Did the man in the brown suit go out the gate a few moments ago?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
He's gone!
Yeah.
Judge Gaffney? Dr. William Chumley, the psychiatrist. Judge, we're making a routine check of our records. You called out here earlier today about having a client of yours committed. Would you please give me the correct spelling of your client's name? Yes, Mr. Elwood P. Dowd. Yes, thank you, Judge. Dr. Sanderson, do you realize what you have done? I'll tell you. You have opened me up to the humiliation of having to go out now and bring this Dowd back. And when I do bring him back, Dr. Sanderson, you may consider your connection to this institution ended. Betty, my pet, call the Chassons and tell them we can't make it. Miss Kelly, call up and get that Simmons woman out of the hydro tubs now. Wilson, get my car.
The nurse? It's Miss Kelly. Get Mrs. Simmons out of the hydro tub and give her back her clothes. Chumley's orders.
Such an unusual word. Miss Kelly, what does it mean?
You can search me, Mrs. Chumley. There's an encyclopedia there by you on the desk.
Oh, aren't you efficient? Thank you. Let's see. Peas, parchment, Polynesia, Pitcairn, hookah. Here we go. P-O-O-K-A. From Old Celtic mythology. Fairy spirit animal form, always very large. Appears at people at its own behest. Very fond of rum pots, crack pots. And how are you this evening, Mrs. Chumley?
What?
We will return to the second act of the NOLA Voice Theatre.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first act of the NVT Studio Party. We have a 20-minute intermission, so please, by all means, help yourselves to everything that's out there at the front. Step out, smoke them if you got them. We'll be back in 20 minutes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you soon. Thank you, buddy.
Before you go, let me see. Old habits die hard.
Turn it up. Yeah, hang on a second. Go ahead, John.
John, what are you turned off?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not getting anything now.
Hello. Hello.
I think that's just like one here, Mike.
John, what about that? Vatican's work? That was work?
I can get up
Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to straight real all deals
Six off the car.
Allow that back. I literally
The microphone is
All right, we good? We good?
Thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry, sir. We have to change
How you doing? It's been a while since that rather unfortunate war we had to do over the summer. When I was out here when we were talking about Richards.
Wait, geez, no.
Wait, Captain.
Thank you so much. So kind.
No laughter today.
I didn't even laugh.
Okay, so it says,
That's right.
yeah, and you got,
So new, I haven't learned all the business.
They were beauteous job, beauteous. I love it.
And I'm black.
And I'm a 6-foot tall rabbit. Just make sure and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We now return to the conclusion of NOLA Voice Theatre's adaptation of the classic comedy Harvey, starring V.D. Boudreaux as Elwood P. Dowd and Karen Shields as Vida. That Peter Simmons has been wrongly committed to Chumley's rest, and Elwood P. Dowd now loose in New Orleans. Dr. Chumley has gone in search of him. Meanwhile, back on Potter Street, Myrtle May is hosting Judge Gaffney in their parlor.
I'm afraid I just don't understand, Judge Gaffney. Mother took Uncle Elwood to the sanitarium.
I know that, but she called me at the club in hysterics, carrying on something fierce.
Are those the commitment papers?
No, child. I went over to the real estate office to put the house up for sale, as Rita Louise insisted. And guess what I found? A man looking for a house like this to come up into buffet apartments. But I need your mother to sign the papers. Oh, this whole business is terrible. I feel badly about locking up poor old Elwood. He could have done anything in this community.
And all he did was find a big white rabbit.
He had everything. Brains, personality, friends. Women liked him, men liked him. I liked him.
Wait, are you telling me Uncle Elwood was once like other men?
Not since he started running around with this big rabbit. He was always so calm about any sudden change in plans. I used to admire it. I should have been suspicious. Your average man looking up and seeing a big rabbit would have done something about it. Not Elwood. He took that calmly too. And look where it's gotten him.
You can't dream how far he's taken it.
Oh, yes I can. He's brought Harvey to my office many times.
Mother, look, here's Judge... Mother!
Oh, Myrtle May! Oh, Judge! I thought I'd never see any of you again.
Good Lord, girl. Myrtle May, help her. Get to that chair. Steady, girl, steady.
I'll get you some tea. Judge, get her coat.
Will you please leave me alone? Oh, Ma, I want you to sue those people. They put me in and let Elwood out.
What's this?
But why? What did you say? What did you do?
I told him about Elwood and went down to get his things. Next thing I know, this brute attacked me and dragged me back inside. He was a white slaver, I know he was. He had on one of those white suits. That's how they advertise, you know.
Oh, hey, tell me, was he a young man?
Myrtle May. What did he do, Vita Louise?
Oh, Ma! He took me upstairs, tore off my clothes, and sat me down in a tub of water.
My God, I'll sue them for this.
That man jumped me like I was a woman in the streets. They did it just for spite. Those doctors asking me a lot of questions about sex urges, all that filthy stuff. One of them had those eyes.
This stinks to high heaven, Vita. My God, it stinks. If Chumley thinks he can get away with running an unsavory place like that, my God, I'll run him out of the state.
Is that all they do in places like that? Think about sex? Why don't they just go for long walks in the fresh air? Oh, Ma, Judge Gaffney walked me around for years. Didn't you, Judge?
Let me take some notes on this, Vita Louise. You said the doctor...
Yes, Dr. Dr. Chumley and his flunky, Dr. Sanderson, with the eyes. But don't you pay attention to anything they tell you, Judge. They're liars, all liars. Besides, I told them something in strictest confidence, and they blabbed it.
But where is Uncle Elwood, Mother?
How should I know? They let him go. Don't be naive, Myrtle May. They're not interested in men in places like that.
We've got to find him. Mother, no matter who jumped you, we have to find Uncle Elwood.
Oh, I don't know, Myrtle May. Oh, Ma, next time you take him, just wait until Elwood hears what they did to me. He won't stand for it. I'm going to bed, Myrtle May, and I hope that as long as you live, you never have a man pull off your clothes and dump you in a tub of water.
Oh, it's all Uncle Elwood's fault. He knew what she was planning to do and had to lock her up instead. Skipped out scot-free.
Your uncle thinks the world of your mother. Even as a little boy, he always wanted to share everything he had with her.
We'll hire detectives and find him, and you can reserve some of that sympathy for Mother and me. You have no idea what we've had to put up with. Wait till you see what he's got in the garage.
I've got to speak to Nita Louise. There's something more here.
All right, where's the crackpot with the rabbit?
What is this? Who are you?
Wilson, Chumley's rest. Who are you? Hey, let's have it.
I am Judge Gaffney, the family's attorney.
Okay, Judge, don't get your robes in the knot. Hey, Dr. Chumley, this here's Judge Gaffney, the mouthpiece.
Good evening, Judge. Is he here?
Who? No? No, he isn't. But see here, Chumley.
Sure he ain't here. He's wise now. He'll be back.
We'll get him, Wilson. We always do. Now, do you have a list of places we've already been?
Oh, sure, right here. There's been like 17 places. Club Bali, Famous Door, the old Absinthe House, Carousel Bar. We checked the Athletic Club, the Ice House. Just to be safe, the Governor Nichols Walk. Say, what would he be doing there?
The night guard is a friend of his. He has many friends, many places. Dr. Chumley, I must inform you that we intend to file suit against you for what happened to Mrs. Simmons at your sanitarium this afternoon.
Well, that's pretty. After all the drag and tail all over town trying to find that
What
guy.
happened this afternoon was an unfortunate mistake, and I've discharged the doctor responsible. I've taken charge of this case. I'm interested, and no amount of money
But
can
this
buy
business
my
this
interest.
afternoon.
Water under the bridge, Judge. The important item now is finding Mr. Dowd and getting him back to the sanitarium.
I agree.
Let me introduce Miss Myrtle May Simmons, Mr. Dowd's niece, Mrs. Simmons' daughter.
How do you do, Doctor?
What have you got there, girl? Some kind of package?
Just wait until you see what Uncle Elwood had done.
Well, hello there, Myrtle.
Doctor, these are very serious allegations. I suggest we step into the library and discuss it privately. Myrtle May, we're not to be disturbed.
Very well, Judge. Wilson, wait for me here. I have a situation to attend.
So your name's Myrtle May.
Yes.
If we catch your uncle, you're liable to be coming out to the sanitarium on visiting days.
Well, I don't know.
If you do, I'll be there. Don't worry if you don't see me right away. I'll show up.
Oh, you will?
You know, since Dr. Chumley told me to wait here, I could sure use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Oh, well, okay. I'll precede you into the kitchen.
Hey, don't rush off. We'll go proceeding together. You're all right, you know. You got a nice build, you got pretty eyes, and you know what else you got, Myrtle?
What?
You got the screwiest uncle that ever stuck his puss inside our nut house.
Hello, Chumley's Rest. Is Dr. Chumley there? Oh, it's Mrs. Chumley. Mrs. Elwood P. Dowd speaking. How are you tonight? Oh, that's fine. Tell me, Mrs. Chumley, were you able to find Harvey? Oh, no sign, eh? Yes, that's Harvey, all right. Well, I must go find him now. My regards to you and anyone else you happen to run into. Good night.
Good night.
Well, how did this get in here? It must have been Myrtle May. She's so considerate. Oh, yes. That's a fine portrait of Harvey. I don't look too badly myself. It was a good suggestion of his to have it painted when we met that artist in Jackson Square. Lovely fellow. Now, where the heck Mother, I'm sure you won't mind if Harvey and I stand in front of you on the mantelpiece. I'll just put us there. Well, I think you'll find Harvey.
Doctor, you may as well go home and wait. I'm suing you for $50,000 and that's final. Now, where is my book?
But Mrs. Simmons. Mrs. Simmons? The picture over your mantle?
That portrait happens to be the pride of this house, my late mother.
Oh, who painted it?
Oh, some man, I've forgotten his name. He came in for the sittings, we paid him, he left.
Yes, well, I suppose if you have money, you can persuade people to do just about anything. And it's supposed to be your mother?
Dr. Chumley, I took a course in art last spring. The difference between a painting and a photograph is simple. A photograph is a mechanical thing that shows only what is. A painting not only shows the reality, it shows the dream behind it. It is our dreams that keep us going. It is what separates us from the beasts. Oh, here's my book. I wouldn't want to live in... Oh!
Mrs. Simmons, what is it?
Doctor, that's not my mother.
I'm very glad to hear it, Mrs. Simmons.
Elwood's been here. He's been here.
Here, Mrs. Simmons, sit down. I'll get the telephone. Hello. Yes, she is. One moment, please. It's your brother. Don't tell him I'm here. Be casual.
Hello, Elwood. Where are you? What? Oh, just a minute. He won't say where he is.
Tell him Harvey is here.
But he isn't.
He doesn't know that. We have to get him here.
Elwood, dear, Harvey is here. Why don't you come home? What? Hold on, dear. He wants to speak to Harvey.
Tell him he can't come to the telephone. Say he's in the bathtub.
Bathtub?
Tell him you'll give him the address where he is, and you'll send Harvey right over.
Elwood? Elwood, Harvey's in the bathtub now. Tell me where you are, and I'll send him over when he's dry. Yes? What? Elwood?
Did he hang up?
No, Harvey walked in. He told me to look in the bathtub, it might be a stranger. But I know where he is, Dixie Fashnuts on Rue Bourbon.
Well, I'm going there now to catch him and bring him back to the sanitarium.
Doctor, please don't. Send one of your attendants, I'm warning you.
You consider your brother a dangerous man?
I won't tell you why, but would I be considering permanent commitment for him if I didn't have a very good reason?
Then I must observe him. Watch him when he talks to the rabbit. He does talk to him, doesn't he?
Oh, they tell each other everything. But don't go after him, Doctor. You'll regret it.
I can handle it, Mrs. Simmons.
That's what you think. Oh, look at me. See who's in the bathtub. Oh!
No sign, eh? Well, thanks for calling.
Anything else, Doctor?
No, listen, that's everything.
It's too bad you're getting bounced. I had you pegged to make the grade. When are you leaving?
As soon as Dr. Chumley returns.
Smells funny to me. 4 hours, ain't nobody heard from him. Good luck, Doctor. I'm sorry you're getting kicked to the curb. I'm gonna go look for Dr. Chumley. He shouldn't have gone out chasing after that psycho without me.
I'd like to go along too.
Say, that's swell of you, Doctor. Right after they gave you the brush.
Dr. Sanderson? Oh, Doctor, I'm glad I caught you. I just wanted to say good luck, and I'm very sorry to see you leave.
Is there any news on Mr. Dowd or Dr. Chumley among these good wishes, Miss Kelly?
Well, Dr. Sanderson, you come back here.
Good evening, my dear. These are for you.
Oh, flowers? For me? Oh, thank you. you.
Fresh dahlias, just picked them out front.
I hope Dr. Chumley didn't see you. They're his prize dahlias.
Those colors will go beautifully with your hair.
I've never worn burnt orange. It's such a trying color.
You would improve any color, my dear.
Dowd, there you are.
I have a cab outside. I apologize for being late. I thought Miss Kelly should have some time. They really should have did for you, Doctor. As you grow older and pretty women pass you by,
Harvey did it.
you'll live with gratitude for these generous girls of your youth.
Where's Dr. Chumley?
Oh, is he coming too? We met earlier this evening. We should go there.
Mr. Dowd, the situation has changed since this afternoon. Dr. Chumley is your friend. We'll cooperate peacefully. That's half the battle. They'll have to face reality sooner or later.
Doctor, I wrestled with reality for over 40 years, and I'm happy to state I finally won out over it. Now, won't you join me at Dixie's Bar of Music?
So there you are. Come on, Dale, upstairs.
I think there's some mistake. Dr. Sanderson, Miss Kelly, and I were just stepping out for a drink. We'd love you to join us, Mr.
Wilson, no upstairs with you.
Hold on, Wilson. Mr. Dowd, you said you met Dr. Chumley. Where did he go?
Well, I'm afraid he didn't say.
You hear that, Doctor? Smart. What have you done with Dr. Chumley, Mac? Talk faster, or I'm gonna work you over.
I'd rather he didn't do that, especially in front of Miss Kelly.
Dowd, Dr. Chumley left here 4 hours ago to find you. Where did you see him?
At Dixie Fosnock's Bar of Music, where we are headed soon. He asked for me, and Miss Dixie escorted him over. We said hello, and he sat down, and then I introduced him to Harvey.
Who's hard?
A white rabbit, 6 feet tall.
6'3" 3/4 inches tall, without the ears.
Wait, we're listening to Nutstick Fagan, and Dr. Chumley's probably bleeding in a ditch somewhere.
If those were his plans, he didn't tell me. And anyway, Dr. Chumley sat down in the booth with us. Dr. Chumley sat right across from Harvey so he could look at him. Harvey suggested I buy him a drink, and since I hate to see a friend drink alone, I suggested to Dr. Chumley that we join him. So we did.
And?
We joined him again.
And?
We kept on joining him.
Enough with all the joinings.
All right, but you're leaving out a large portion of the evening. Anyway, Dr. Chumley and Harvey got into a long talk, but it soon turned into an argument. Harvey thought that Dr. Chumley should contribute to all the joining, and Dr. Chumley disagreed. At some point, another couple from a nearby table got involved, and the subject of fried chicken was mentioned. I wasn't hungry, so I went to the bar for another drink. When I came back, everyone was gone.
Where did Dr. Chumley go?
As I said, he didn't tell me his plans.
What have you done with Dr. Chumley, you nutcase? Tell me, Your Honor.
Wilson, stop. Maybe he isn't lying. Maybe Dr. Chumley did go to Dixie's.
And saw a big rabbit.
It's possible Harvey was there. At first he seemed a little frightened of Harvey, but that gave way to admiration as the evening wore on. And as stimulating as this is, I really must be heading back into town.
Yes, Dixie's Bar of Music. Is Dr. Chumley still around? He came in with Mr. Dowd earlier this evening. Well, you don't have to bite my My, that lady was mad. She said Mr. Dowd is welcome back anytime, but his friend Dr. Chumley is not. Mr. Dowd, Mrs. Chumley is worried something may have happened to Dr. Chumley. Please, if you can tell us anything.
For you, I would do anything, but I've told it all.
Mr. Dowd, what is it you do?
Harvey and I sit in the bars and have a drink or two and play the jukebox. Soon the faces of the other people turn toward mine and smile. They'll say, "We don't know your name, mister, but you're a lovely fellow." Harvey and I warm ourselves in these golden moments. We have entered as strangers. Soon we have friends. They sit and drink with us. They tell us the terrible things they have done and the big, wonderful things they will do. Their hopes, their fears, their loves, their regrets. All very large because no one ever brings anything small into a bar. Then I introduce them to Harvey. and he's bigger and grander than anything they offer me. When they leave impressed. The same people seldom come back, but that's envy, isn't it, my dear?
How did you happen to call him, Harvey?
That is a very interesting coincidence. One night, several years ago, I was walking along Curler Street after helping Ed Hickey into a cab. He'd been mixing rye with his gin, so I thought he needed conveying. I walked up the block and I heard a voice say, "Good evening, Mr. Dow." And there, under the street lamp, was this great white rabbit. It didn't surprise me. When you've lived in New Orleans as long as I, you get used to everyone knowing your name. I stopped to say hello, and he said, Ed Hickey was a little spliffed unless I'm mistaken. Well, he wasn't mistaken. I think the world and all of it, but he was spliffed. So I said, you have me at a disadvantage. You know my name, but I don't know yours. Right back, he says, what name do you like? Well, I didn't have to think a minute. My favorite name has always been Harvey. And he says, what a coincidence. My name happens to be Harvey.
Mr. Dow, what was your father's name?
John Frederick.
Did you ever have a childhood friend or an uncle or family friend named Harvey?
No, I've never known a Harvey until now. Maybe that's why it's my favorite name.
Come on, Wilson. Let's take Mr. Dowd upstairs now.
Nothing doing. You make this your show, forgetting Dr. Chumley. You run it.
All right. Come on, Elwood.
Very well, Lyman, but I have to warn you, I cannot stay long. I promised Harvey I'd take him to see the floor show at the My Oh My Club.
Dr. Chumley, you all right?
All right. Of course I'm all right. Close that door. I'm being followed. Lock it.
Who's following you?
None of your business. Wilson, we have to get down out of here now.
Okay, Dr. Chumley.
Don't leave me, Wilson. Call Dunphy.
Okay, Doctor. Dunphy, Wilson. Yeah, tell Dr. Sanderson to bring that Dowd guy back down to the office. Yeah, like a boomerang. Just a moment. It's that old blister, Judge Gaffney, Doctor.
I want to see Chumley.
You Myrtle.
Hello.
Chumley, we've got to talk to you. It's serious.
It certainly is.
More serious than you realize. Can we talk in your office?
No, don't go in there.
Very well. Please have a seat, Dr. Chumley. Have a seat, Myrtle May.
Don't leave me here alone, Wilson.
Now, Doctor, has it ever occurred to you that possibly there might be something like this rabbit, Harvey?
Of course there isn't, and anyone who thinks so is crazy. Don't you look at me like that. I'm like my father's family. They're all dead.
Yes. My client, Mrs. Simmons, swears under oath on the morning of November 2nd, while standing in the kitchen of her home, hearing her name called, she turned around and saw this great white rabbit. He was staring at her. She made certain remarks and drove the creature from the room.
What did he say to him?
She was, in fact, the words are not important.
What did he say to Harvey?
She told him to go to hell.
And he left?
Yes, but that's beside the point. Is it perjury or something we can cope with? I want your opinion.
Ruthie, there you are.
Oh, Lyman.
Lyman, my boy, I apologize. Disregard what I said. I want you on my staff. You're a very astute young man.
Dr. Chumley, you've just got to keep Uncle Elwood out here.
No, I want this sanitarium back to the way it was before your uncle came here.
I know what you mean.
You do?
It certainly gets on everyone's nerves the way Uncle Elwood knows what's going to happen before it does. Things always turn out the way he says. He says Harvey tells him. How could Harvey know when he doesn't even exist?
Fly specks. I'm spending my life among fly specks when miracles are leaning on lampposts on Kerlerek Street.
Oh, good. Nothing in here but people.
You promised you wouldn't come out here.
And good evening to you, too. I brought Elwood's robe. I thought you would all be committing him.
How about you and me step out some Saturday night there, Myrtle May?
Of course not. Myrtle May, come here. Judge, is everything settled?
Doctor, may I give an opinion?
Please do.
Come on. That's the doctor that I told you about, the one with the eyes.
It's my opinion that Mr. Dowd is suffering from a third-degree hallucination, and the other party concerned is the victim of autosuggestion. I recommend shock formula 977 for him and bed rest at home for the other party. Mr. Dowd won't see the rabbit after the injection. We've used it in hundreds of psychopathic cases.
Don't you dare call my brother psychopathic. There's never been any of that in my family.
If you didn't think Uncle Elwood was psychopathic, why did you bring him out here?
Well, I couldn't take him to jail, could I? Besides, it's not your uncle's fault. Of all the people in town, why did that Harvey have to talk to Elwood?
Here's Elwood now. If this shock treatment formula brings people back to reality, I easily give it to him.
I must speak with Mr. Dowd alone. Dr. Sanderson, please show everyone into the next room. Elwood, you stay. I will give you my diagnosis soon, but I must be alone with him. Thank you.
Mr. Dowd, what kind of a man are you? Where do you come from?
Didn't I give you one of my cards?
And where on the face of this tired old earth did you find a thing like him? Is it true he has a purpose that he
Gets advance notice?
Yes.
I'm happy to say it is. Harvey is versatile. You've heard the expression, his face would stop a clock. Harvey can look at your clock and stop it. And you can go away wherever you like for as long as you like with whoever you like. And when you come back, it's as if no time has passed at all. Einstein has overcome time and space. Harvey has overcome not only time and space, but all objections.
And does he do this for you?
He is willing at any time, but so far I haven't found anywhere else I'd like to be than here.
I know where I'd go. Akron, Ohio. There's a cottage camp in a grove of maple trees. Cool, green, beautiful.
My favorite kind of tree.
And I think I'd go with a young woman. A pretty woman. Quiet woman. I wouldn't even want to know her name. I just talk to her and tell her things I've never told anyone before. Every so often she'd reach out a soft, delicate hand and say, poor thing.
How long would you like that to go on?
2 weeks. You think Harvey would do that for me?
He could, and he might. I have never heard Harvey say a word against Akron. By the way, Doctor, where is Harvey?
Why? Don't you know?
Well, I last saw him with you. Oh, he's probably waiting for me down at Miss Dixie's. I'll just give my regards to everyone.
No, don't go in there.
Well, I must say goodbye to my friend Dr. Sanderson.
Dr. Sanderson isn't your friend, Howard. None of those people is your friend. I'm. And your sister is at the bottom of this conspiracy against you. She's got power of attorney. She signed the commitment papers today.
Peter is certainly a whirlwind. Doctor, my mother always used to say to me, Elwood, in this world you have to be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. For years I was smart. I recommend pleasant.
I'll protect you. I'll commit her if I have to, but if you take my formula, you won't see Harvey ever again.
It's kind of you to offer, Doctor, but no. I couldn't leave Vita unless she wanted to stay. You've got a nice place and all, but I think Vita would be happier at home with Myrtle, May, and Harvey and me. Oh, hello, Miss Kelly. Diviner grace has never brightened this enchanting face.
Oh, my Mr. Dowd, that's Ovid's 5th elegy. How happy you've made me.
Elwood, does that happen often? Women like Miss Kelly kissing you?
Yes, I encourage it.
Well, then, to hell with decency. I've got to get that rabbit. Dr. Sanderson.
Yes, Dr. Chalmette.
I agree with your opinion. However, the injection comes with a strong reaction. We cannot proceed without your consent, Mr. Dowd.
No, he'll consent if I tell him to.
Don't ask him, just give it to him.
Please! Look, Mr. Dowd, if you will consent to take formula 977, you won't see this rabbit anymore. What you will see is your responsibilities, duties.
Viva, do you want me to take this?
Oh, Elwood, I'd do anything in the world for you. But that Harvey is making a fool of you. Myrtle May and I have no social life because of Harvey. We're miserable. I wish I were dead. But maybe you don't care.
I've always felt that Vita should have everything she wants. I'll take it. Where do we go, Doctor?
Into Dr. Sanderson's office. Come with me, Elwood.
How long will it take, Doctor?
Only a few moments. Why don't you wait here?
Hey, lady! Yeah! Lady! You jumped out of my cab without paying.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm sure. How much is it?
$12.75.
Oh dear. I've left my purse. Myrtle May, do you have it?
Are you kidding?
The judge?
Oh, I have her checks.
No checks!
Dr. Chalmette, do you have $2.75?
No, I left my wallet at home. No time now. We have to get on with the injection.
I'll just have to get it from my brother. But I can't right now. He's in there getting an injection.
You better get your money from your brother, who's in there getting the stuff they shoot out here.
Yes, but it'll
Lady, I want my money now. I know what goes on out here. I've been driving this route for 15 years. On the way, they sit back and they enjoy the ride. They talk to me. Sometimes we stop and listen to the birds. Sometimes we stop and watch the sunset. Sometimes we stop and listen to the birds when there ain't no birds. We watch the sunset when it's raining. We have a great time and I always get a tip. But the ride back, all they do is crab, crab, crab. They yell at me to watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersection. They got no faith in me or my buggy. Yet it's the same driver. It's the same cab. It's the same route. It's no fun and it's no tips.
But my brother would have tipped you. He's very generous. Always has been.
Not after this, he won't be. After this, he'll be a regular, normal human being. And you all know what bastards they are. Nice meeting you, lady. I'll wait.
Oh no! Judge Gaffney! Myrtle May, stop them! Don't let them do it! Elwood! Elwood, don't take it!
Stop it!
I don't want him to take it. I don't want people like that. I don't want Elwood that way.
What's going on out here?
Elwood, you haven't taken it yet, have you?
No, but we're ready now. Wilson, please take Mrs. Simmons into the next room.
Don't you lay a hand on me, you white slaver!
You don't know what you want. You didn't want that rabbit either.
And what's wrong with Harvey? If Elwood, Myrtle May, and I want to live with Harvey, what's it to you? You don't even have to come around. Oh, Elwood.
There, Vita. You're all tired out. You've done a lot today.
Oh, heavens your way. I'm not giving up my game at the club, no matter how big the animal. Good day.
Come on, Elwood, let's go home. I wish I'd never seen this place. Oh, look. Here's my purse. I could have paid the cab driver my... Harvey!
So, Myrtle May, let's say you and me step out tonight.
Why not? This day can get any crazier.
Mr. Dowd, I still think Formula 977 can help people.
And if I meet any who need it, I will recommend them to you, Doctor.
Well, good luck, Mr. Dowd. It was very nice knowing you.
Thank you, my dear. And good luck to you both in your new life.
Mr. Dowd, we're not engaged.
Really? Well, don't you think it's time? Harvey says it's going to happen soon, and I've never known him to be wrong.
Oh, now lying. We wouldn't want to make a liar out of Harvey now, would we? Goodbye, Mr. Dowd.
Just a moment, folks. Vita, dear, would you go downstairs with Dr. Sanderson and Miss Kelly? I'd like to speak with Dr. Chalmette.
Of course, Elwood, but don't be long. So, Miss Kelly, Dr. Sanderson, you must let Myrtle May and me throw you an engagement party.
Yes, Elwood?
Well, Dr. Chumley, while you stepped out earlier, I saw Harvey.
Oh, you did?
Yes. He said the couch in your office is very comfortable. At any rate, we had a chance to chat. I'm going to be pretty busy taking care of Vita and Myrtle May now. The point is, I'm not going to have any time to spend with Harvey, so he's decided to stick around here with you. If that's fine with you, Doctor.
Really? He wants to stay with me?
Ask him yourself. Harvey? Yeah, we talked about it. You can stay here with Dr. Chumley. Oh, all right. Willie. Yes, I like that name too. But you two come visit Vita Myrtle Bay and me whenever you like. Oh? Oh, well, I understand.
What did he say? What did he say?
Oh, nothing much. He's very fond of you, Doctor. Aren't you, Harvey?
Oh, well, there you are, Harvey. Well, it's very nice to meet you. Well, thank you. I think you're very nice, too. Tell me, Harvey, just how tall are you? Without the ears, of course.
Vatican Lokey by Victor Allan Tallant. And starring B.D. Boudreaux as Elwood B. Down. Produced for NOLA Voice Theatre by Vatican Lokey. This is your announcer, Edward Cox, saying thanks for joining us and see you next time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage the lovely Yvette Voelker and the equally lovely Mr. Danny Rubio. What time do you think it's for, BD?
What it's for? It's time for another Plebo
Oh,
commercial.
please no.
No, Plebo.
Oh my God.
This portion of the NVT Studio Party is brought to you by the Plebo Company. Plebo comes in 5 exciting colors: plum, chartreuse, jumpsuit orange, virgin mauve, and battleship plaid. Remember not to use heavy machinery with Plebo. You might spill it. Plebo is endorsed by the NEA, the MLF, the IRS, the TTFY, and a number of other important initials. But don't take my word for it. Let's ask tonight's stars what they think of Plebo. Soline.
Thank you, BD. I've been using Plebo on my floors for years. Nothing else brightens and shines like Plebo. It brings out the lustrous beauty and the beautiful lustrousness on all my floors. I'll never use anything else.
Thank you, Soline. What about you, Bill?
Well, BD, I've been smoking Plebos for years. Nothing else is the full body of a Plebo. It's the smoke with a rich, mild flavor and mild, flavorful richness. I'll never smoke anything else.
Thank you, Bill. Stephen, what do you think of Plebo?
Really, I never start my morning without a big bowl of Plebo. Nothing else keeps you going like Plebo. It's the breakfast treat that's sweetly delicious and deliciously sweet. I'll never eat anything else.
And there you have it, folks. Everyone loves Plebo. It's guaranteed to be the best Plebo out there or your money back. Simply send your Plebo and an 8x10 autographed picture of Margaret Orr to the Plebo Company, 263 Flagey Avenue, Reno, Nevada. I'll repeat that address. That's the Plebo Company, 948 Baptist Cul-de-sac, Kokomo, Indiana. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for...
What's Your Deal?
It's What's Your Deal, where we bring up a member of the audience and have our panel of local celebrities ask questions about what they do for a living. And now, let's meet our panel of celebrities. She's the star of such direct-to-video hits as Polynesia Washington and Creole Love Storm, as well as a regular on the hit game show Vociferous Platitudes. She just closed her 4-parish tour of Oh Evangeline! Exclamation point. Her bi-fortnightly entertainment column appears on clickbait sites right across the street. Please welcome Miss Dorothy Pike. Next up, the celebrated raconteur, Paul Vivant, and pinup boy for the 7th Precinct. The author of the self-help books, You Being Tried Doesn't Mean What You Think It Means, and Buy My Book. He's also the host of the annual telethon for the terminally disinterested. Please welcome Mr. Percy Frigidiv. A retired senator and popular pundit from Abbeville to Zamurray Gardens, our next panelist is seen each week on the Public Access Program. He's the author of the 12-volume political haiku, The Public Did It, which has just been translated into a 5-character string of emojis. Thank you, young people. His face is well known in political circles and no one knows why. Please welcome Senator Albert Bellicose. He's the editor-in-chief of the indecorous Louisiana Barfly Gazette, currently on a 5-parish tour looking for new subscribers. He is the author of the new Broadmoor-bound musical Breast Full of Lead, which made its world premiere last night in the far left lane of the Crescent City Connection. Please welcome Professor Bennett Coulons. And finally, tonight she's a French Quarter experience, the owner and star of the world-famous shade trampoline du Rue Bourbon. A while, but they got there. She's gained fame outside of her clients with her appearance in a Girls for Free STD video, which was the first in the series to be recalled for good taste. She's also a philanthropist raising $1 for camel toe research and Merkin support. Please welcome panelists. Come right down. Come stand into the microphone, please, miss. And what is your name?
Joanne.
This is Joanne, ladies and gentlemen. Joanne is our contestant for tonight. We will tell you that our contestant tonight is salaried and she owns her own business. Now, our contestants, or our panelists rather, cannot see what our contestant does. Please watch the lovely Laynee as she demonstrates to everyone. Don't forget those people over there. They pay money too. There you go. Our card girl Laynee will display what our contestant does for a living. Let's hear it for Laynee. If you would please. Now, our rules are simple. Our panelists will ask you yes or no questions only, each one going in turn. At the end of 4 rounds, our panelists must guess what's your deal. But before we begin the questioning, each of our panelists gets to make one wild guess about what you do, starting at the very end with our own Miss Dorothy Deadpipes.
Okay, let me arrange this for you. Are you a feng shui decorator?
And we move on to Professor Coulott.
Oh, Miss Joanne, are you a helicopter mechanic?
Not lately.
No, not recently. Let's move right on to Mr. Fricative.
I know what you do. You were in the Miss America contest, admit it.
While it's possible our contestant may have been a Miss America contestant, it is also possible that she did not win.
No, I don't know, John.
Oh, fair enough. Moving on to Senator Bellicose.
Miss Joanne, is it possible that you run and operate a nail salon for dogs?
Unfortunately not, but I have nailed a few people.
That's how it becomes that kind of a show. Let's take our final panelist, Miss Cuticle.
Do you professionally wrangle wild ferrets?
Wow, I haven't done that yet.
Always something new to try.
We will say that none of those answers is correct, panel, so we will begin our questioning first with Dorothy Deadpipe, going all the way around to Professor Coulott, and then moving on. Miss Deadpipe, your first question.
Yeah, hi. So, is your deal, do you make a product?
No.
And moving on to Professor Coulott.
Do you provide a service?
Yes.
That is a yes, Professor. Moving on to Mr. Fricative.
Is this something you do for a whole bunch of people? Or just one?
Yes.
Oh, hot damn.
That would be a yes, Mr. Fricative. And please towel down. Let's hear from Senator Bellicose.
If I wanted to partake of your service, would I have to arrange a private appointment?
No, that's not necessary.
Moving on to Verneria Cuticle.
Is your particular brand of service appropriate for all ages?
No.
I like this even more.
Thank you, Miss Cuticle, and we'll find you a place to get shots. Moving on to Miss Deadpipe.
So this service that you do for people, for large groups of people, do you have to wear a uniform?
No.
Professor Coulott.
Does everyone come to your office for this service?
That's sort of a yes.
Sort of.
I would call that a yes, Professor. Let's go all the way down to Mr. Fricative.
I'm sorry. I wasn't sorry. Okay, so you do wear a uniform and you do it for lots of people. Is your uniform with a hat? Do you have a hard hat?
That's a no.
That would be a no, Mr. Fricative. Senator Bellicose.
This service that you provide, would you consider your job being a one of hands-on in terms of this service.
That's your goal.
Sort of conduct, yes.
For the purposes of our questioning, Senator, we will give you a qualified yes.
I'll take it.
And Ms. Cuticle.
The service you provide, does this require any special ointments or oils?
That's a no.
Answer that question carefully.
That's a no.
All right, fair enough. That's a no. Miss Deadpines.
So this service that you do for your deal, does it involve anything that could be ingested?
Absolutely.
There is audience participation.
Now,
Moving on to Professor Coulott.
this ingested, I'm confused. Is this in the French Quarter? It could be.
Just outside.
Just outside, Mr. Fricative.
Okay. Gotta know. It's ingested, you do it with lots of people. Is there latex?
Is there latex?
Not in the services, no.
That's very fair. Senator Bellicose.
As we find ourselves in this very sophisticated cosmopolitan environment, I must ask you, would your service be available in, say, a small all-American town?
A conference, please.
Cheaters never win.
For the purpose of our questioning, Senator, we will say that the service that Ms. Guidos offers could indeed be offered in a small town. We just don't know for how long. And Ms. Cuticle.
This possibly not long-term small town service, does it involve a heavy application of makeup?
All right, panelists, this is our final round of questioning, and we begin the final round with Miss Dorothy Deadpines.
Right, so you said that this service is not appropriate for all ages. So my question is, would somebody under the age of 18 be able to participate in your service?
Oh. Conference, Miss Deadpine.
I'm over here.
We would say for the purposes of questioning and the child here showing us everything she has, we will say that under the age of 18 is not allowed. Professor Coulott.
Is this service you provide, is it in the entertainment industry?
Yes.
We would have to say for the purposes of questioning, Professor, that while it is an entertainment service, it would not necessarily be involved in the entertainment industry in the way that we have entertained people this evening. Well, we've entertained people, not you.
Okay.
Do you have another question, Professor?
How about, is it in tourism?
Oh, is it in tourism, Miss Guidos?
No.
We have a special question. Hold on. We have a special question from our co-producer, Edward R. Cox. Go ahead, Miss Cox.
Are you a Plebo salesman?
They fired me.
Which is why Mr. Cox is disqualified from any further.
I have a lovely fan.
You have a lovely fan. We're moving on now to Mr. Fricative.
I'm sorry, what?
It's your question, Mr. Fricative.
Okay. So, do you have to be at least this tall to ride the ride?
God, yes.
But that's no
Which
fun.
ride?
Excuse me.
Good question. Which ride did you meet, Mr. Fricative? Gaidos.
Do you provide your service exclusively to human beings?
Sort of say that. Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
Coffee gets
For the purposes of our question.
different rates applied?
We're going to say that for the purposes of our question, human beings are only served with the particular service that Miss Gaidos offers. And our final question from Miss Verneria Cuticle.
Would the ladies of my establishment benefit from your service?
Possibly could, yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our panelists will now make their final guess as to Miss Joanne Gaidos' What's Your Deal? And we're going to start right now with Miss Dorothy Denpine. Your guess, Dorothy.
So this sounds super sweet. Is your deal making alcoholic snowballs?
Close.
Very close, but we'd have to give you a qualified no. Professor.
Miss Joanne, are you a professional escort?
No.
Thank you, Joanne. Let's hear it from Mr. Fricative.
Not
Okay. So, are you one of those people that they drink alcohol off of your belly or something like that? Like they eat fish? It's like those women over in Japan, damn it.
Shop girls, darling. They're called shop girls.
I think we have to say no. Most nights we'd have to say no. Senator Bellicose.
Are you a ballroom dance instructor?
Unfortunately not.
No.
And our final guest tonight, Miss Verneria Cuticle.
Do you force feed hookers STD repellents?
Oh!
Lord, today, girl.
Never force feed.
All of those guesses are wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to introduce you to Joanne Gaidos, the owner and proprietor of Cajun's Pub on St. Claude Avenue. And for joining us, Ms. Gaidos, in appreciation for your competing tonight, you will receive 2 free tickets. That's right, 2 free tickets to our next production on August 27th here at the Azienda Theatre for the next NVT Studio Party. Let's hear it for Joanne Gaidos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. Before the party winds down for the final time, we'd like to introduce you to our co-producer and director to tell you about next month's show. He's just completed a run as Maurice in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, and you can see him again next on stage in October and November when NOLA Voice Theatre brings our next production of Untold New Orleans Stories to the Backyard Ballroom. Please welcome our associate producer and director, Mr. Edward R. Cox.
On August 27th, NOLA Voice Theatre returns to the Azienda Theatre for the next installment of an NVT Studio Party, featuring our new voice theatre adaptation of the hilarious comedy Auntie Mame. And just like tonight's production of Harvey, we've reset Auntie Mame in New Orleans in the 1930s through the 1950s. We've also got the perfect actress to play the role of Mame Dennis, the fabulous Sherry Marina. We also have as our musical guest 3 stars from the Gretna Main Street New Musical Theatre Festival, Kate Abrio, David Ancard, and Betty Rubio. And David Ancard is in the audience tonight. Stand up there, take a bow. We'll have a new episode of the Thibodeaux, another round of What's Your Deal? And much more coming up Monday, August the 27th at 7 p.m. right here at the Azienda Theatre. We hope to see you then.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is last call. So, as the lovely Yvette, Voelker, and the equally lovely Danny Rubio join us on stage, 15 entire cast. That means stand, everybody. Good work. We would like to wish all of you no cares, no worries, and nothing but happy days ahead. Yvette? Happy days are here again. The stars above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together, let's shout it out. There's no one who can shout it down. So let's fill the world around and round. Happy days are here again. No cares and troubles are gone. There'll be no more from now on. Happy days are here now. Let's go above and good now. Let's sing the song of power now. Happy days are here again.
NVT Studio Party benefiting the Azienda Theatre in Chalmette, Louisiana. Featuring tonight's production were Boudreaux, Soline McLain, Rubio, William Lee, Jim Holmes, Brant, and Williams. Special guests Yvette Voelker, Rubio, and Weldon. Harvey got the voice here by Victor Allan Tallant. The NVT Studio Party was written by Mr. Tallant and members of the NOLA Voice Theatre. Special thanks to the NOLA National Voice Talent Foundation, Porta Bucket Players, studioWTA, Bayou, and the staff of the Azienda Theatre. The NVT Studio Party has been a production of NOLA Voice Theatre in New Orleans, Louisiana, produced and directed by Vatican Lokey and Edward Cox. Join us again on August 27, 2018. After we give us the link to the Azienda Theatre for the next edition of the NVT Studio Party.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you again August 27th. Thank you for being with us. Enjoy that.
Get your shoes.
Totally up to that.
So look, we don't have like anything going on here.
Good night.
If y'all want to like strike tonight, if y'all want to do it, you know.
Thank you, Paul.
Paul, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so
So
much.
y'all plan on breaking everything down tonight?
Well, we were expecting that we had to because
That's
nobody else needed.
No, that's
Listen,
fine.
we don't have anything planned in here for the next couple of weeks. You want to strike tomorrow, the next day?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you don't feel like you have to get everything right.
Right. If we could at least like get ourselves next and jump down and then come and get this job.
I like all that.
Video for you.
Oh, I was telling Mary sometime that
I just
takes
finished the back and you
doing the same thing but doing black paint vertical on three vertical and two horizontal black paint. They make the windows. Oh, child, going, thank you so much. And talk to the girls about
Aaron, we're gonna do one of these. You're gonna drink this again. Yeah. Let's come out. Good luck with this place. It's looking nice already, so I mean, you don't have far to go. This is nice. This works.
Good.
And it has air conditioning. So it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It could be better, but yeah.
I hope so. We're kind of hoping.
We'll see how that works. This next month. A lot of evenings now.
You better come.
That'd be fun. We got to know they say
Thank you again for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
The show is 30s and 40s. With Yvette, you and Brant and Danny, see how y'all schedules can run. Y'all pick and choose the songs. Y'all can do a couple of here. Yvette, y'all can do a couple of songs. Okay, have a little bit more time to feel like you're going to he's like, oh, I was looking to do duets.
That'll be great. I'll keep kind of keep it around that.
And y'all just make it after for an hour and
It's gonna be good. Great. I got it.
That was fantastic. Okay. He says a lot of things. That's why.
Yeah, tell Barbara to wait.
We said it like 5 times. NVT Studio Party, August 27th. It's always the last Monday of 4 months of usually it's June, July, August. This year, we had a black we lost the other theater, and now they opened this theater, so we do it for free as a fundraiser for the theaters. So that's how we got the theater. They just opened this theater. They just did that last week and this week. So it's like literally brand new theater. So we're starting with
part of it.
Guys, we're about to take a nice photo, so there he is.
Cox in the middle. Cox in the middle.
Well, can I say that in your face? And no wonder I love it so much because it's it's a treat. I love it. Was that all my music? That's right.
Hands up, we're happy, yeah!
Where are you? Boy, I could have had a VAs.
Get in here, Vatican.
Danny, come over here.
Get your ass.
Yeah,
You're lost
one.
today.
Danny, go. Go. Where's the best?
She's already gone.
Wait, where's the best?
She's already gone.
All right, fair enough.
Jazz hands.
Thank you. I'm excited too.